How you doing, Gage?
Pretty good, man. How about yourself?
Not too bad, not too bad. It's been a while. I'm going to think about doing this.
Yeah, we got a foot. What was the first one? The snowstorm?
Yeah, the foot of snow had landed on us.
Snowed out.
Yeah. We almost got rained out.
Yeah, just about.
It's raining a good bit.
It's flooding.
It was like, say, the yard's full of puddles.
Yeah, it's pretty wet.
Yeah. I don't think my yard's any different than anybody else's yard,
No, I had to, right on this side of Fruitdale, I had to go around the other night. It was, buckskin was going over top of it.
No, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know right there on 753, that field, when I was coming home today, is flooding over.
Right off Wolf Road?
Oh, no. We're on 753 right before you get to work.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the big fields right there. It's wanting to flood, go across the road. So.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. All righty. You like to play guitar, huh?
A little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah, there's times where I didn't pick it up, but I've been slowly picking it back up and trying to. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I have been playing a little ukulele lately.
Oh,
Zach
really?
gave me one. That thing's
did
pretty fun. You ever played one?
No.
They're pretty fun. It's crazy. You can pretty much play everything with one finger.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, they're about that big.
Yeah, a little tiny.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
Now, is it just like a regular acoustic type, or you plug it in, or?
It's just regular acoustic. No plug-in, no nothing.
Well, that makes it nice.
Yeah. Little nylon string.
Does it got a nice ring like an acoustic?
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah, if you play, it kind of sounds like a classical guitar type. It's got the same type of strings, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I never.
They're pretty cool, man.
I mean, I've heard them on records and stuff like that, ding, 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 a little off to the end,
Yeah, I was looking up, Zach gave it to me, so I started looking at videos.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think shit. And I found this dude, he's playing with Billy Strings, so I was like, oh man, that's pretty cool. And turned it on, and Billy Strings starts playing bluegrass on it. I probably won't be able to figure it out. It'd be cool.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, you got, how many years have you actually been playing?
Probably since I was like 13, 14.
Yeah. How many years would that be?
Well, I'm 34 now.
Oh, okay.
So almost 20 years, but there's a lot of years I didn't play at all.
Yeah.
Just kind of set it aside for a while.
Yeah. What type of guitars you have?
I got a Gretsch Electromatic and a reissue 1972 Tele 10 line.
Oh, really? That sounds pretty good.
They do sound pretty good. They need a little cleaning, but they still sound.
Oh, I know what you mean. Like I was telling you, that Explorer I got, needs polish.
It's pretty good, man.
Yeah,
It's pretty new.
If the pickups are a little, what you would say, a little grimy looking.
Yeah, it's all right.
I never heard it.
Dirt don't hurt.
So I know you and Zach, you guys play a lot, don't you?
We used to. Yeah.
You used to?
Yeah.
Yeah. Life gets in the way at times.
And sometimes people move, and that's how it goes.
Well, most of the time it does.
Yeah.
What do I call it, life, so to speak.
How many records you got in here?
I haven't counted them or anything like that. It's maybe 3,000.
Yeah.
Close.
I'd say so.
Give or take.
Yeah.
Here or there.
Yeah, it's a pretty impressive collection.
That's just here and there, I'd pick one up and go to like Goodwills or whatever, or these little hobby shops. You walk in there, there'd be a box, it's like fit on through. It's like, oh, I don't have that one. I've heard a lot about it, I'll pick it up.
If you're into like Christmas albums and movie soundtracks, I got a bunch of junk records in the basement you can have.
Oh, no problem, man. I mean,
I got about there might be 1,000 or so down there, but maybe it's a bunch of totes. But I've already picked through them and got what I want out of them. But
yeah,
at one point I was going to do like same thing you got, just fill them up, but use it as like bass baffles. the back of a room,
Oh,
just
yeah.
for like diffusion for sound and stuff.
Yeah.
Aesthetics, and so I wasn't really worried about what records they were. I was buying, I think at one point I paid $150 for the dude filled up the back of my truck.
Dude, that's a lot of records.
Yeah.
That's a lot of records. And they're heavy.
Yeah.
Records aren't as light as what people think they are.
No, they're real heavy.
Yeah, because I know when I was packing them from the house over to here, because I was putting them in like those these Walmart foldable bags and stuff.
Yeah.
I'd pack them clear tight, walk across the yard with 2 hands full. Dude, they got some weight to them.
Yeah.
I think I estimate it's probably close to about 40 trips
Of packing records,
of packing records.
every bit of it.
And believe it or not, the CDs and stuff, they fill up a damn one little bins or whatever. They fill them up pretty quick. They're not as heavy. Thank goodness. Which is probably good, I mean.
Yeah.
I guess. You like to do trapping too, don't you?
Yes. Yep.
Can you kick it out there on the whole trapping business? What it's
Just catching animals and selling fur. Yeah. Really, there might be a lot of chewing tobacco and lying, mostly.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I like sitting around campfire.
No, I like to do a lot of trapping, a lot of raccoon trapping, fox trapping, mainly. Those are probably my favorites.
Oh, really?
We had a season on bobcats, so that'd probably be about all I thought about. Really. That's pretty cool stuff.
Have you ever trapped a bobcat?
Yeah. Yeah, I've got 41. 2 of them were out of state, so
Yeah.
39 in Ohio. All around here.
Bobcat,
We got a bunch of bobcats.
they're nothing to mess with, are they?
No, they're pretty wicked, man. They're pretty wicked. Yeah, they definitely tear you up.
Oh, man, some.
They don't want to, but they would.
They will.
Yeah, for sure.
The thing is, a lot of people don't realize how big they are.
They can get pretty big.
Well, the range of about 30 pounds or so.
That would be on the real high end.
Oh, really?
They look a lot bigger than they weigh.
Yeah.
You got to think of a house cat and how they're built. One that's real fluffy is going to look fat. I'd say they're probably average. If you had a real big adult around here, it'd be 25 pounds. I mean, I think you'd get 30-pound cats, but
yeah, that's a big one.
Be real big, real big.
Now, how do you do it? You do it by the how do you trap them?
Foothold traps,
Footholds, yeah.
all lake hold traps.
Yeah.
But we can't keep none of them. I've released all the ones I got in Ohio.
Yeah.
With a catch pole.
Good thing, right?
Yeah. You definitely need to have something. I've seen a lot of guys do some funky stuff to let them get. I mean, a lot of guys use like plywood and get something in between them, but
yeah.
I can't be packing that around with me. I'm usually walking everywhere,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, because them cats would climb right up that plywood.
Yeah, they can, for sure. But yeah, you take that catch pole, if you can get it under one of their front legs and around their neck, it's usually no trouble. They're pretty feisty. I mean, you got to be careful and watch where their feet are going, but you can turn them loose, no problem.
Yeah. Do you say them coyotes or?
And not turn coyotes loose.
Well, as in the process of catching them.
Yeah.
Them things are nasty, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. There's a lot of them. They need, they can do a lot of damage.
Yes, they can. They can tear up farmers.
Kill dogs and cats and.
Yep. They won't bat an eye about picking one up.
Nope.
Yeah, I know where Mom lives over on Elm Creek Road, over in the Frankfurt area. Yes, her neighbor seen they recorded a black bear walking up his driveway.
They're around. I don't think there's a ton of them, but they definitely get through.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Which that would be weird, you seeing a black bear walking up your driveway.
It might be the norm in 30 years. Could be.
It could be, yeah. I don't know if we're really gearing up for that. I don't think people around here can actually, really grasp the concept of bear in their backyard.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of people wanting to kill them, but it wouldn't be a bad thing. I had a few bears. It'd be pretty cool, really.
Yeah, I think it would be too. As long as they're black bears.
Yeah, we don't want any big bears.
Yeah, we don't want them brown ones.
No. They'll get you.
Well, they got that hump on their back. They got a little bit of anger to them.
Yeah.
Have you played any shows of late or anything like that? Or?
I haven't played a show in a real long time.
Why?
I don't know. I don't ever get time to practice with anybody.
Yeah.
I'm not big on winging it. Sometimes, if I was very well practiced, I'd be cool with winging it, but I'm not very well practiced. So I'd rather practice before I went and played with anybody.
Well, got it here.
Yeah. Start jamming.
Ding. You can probably show me a hell of a lot.
Maybe not. You might show me some stuff.
I was like, oh my God, I didn't know that was a chord. You know, it'd be that type of thing.
I couldn't tell you what the chord was either, brother.
So, man, that doesn't sound right, Dave. Well, when you hear me play, you'll know why it doesn't sound right.
What about you? Have you played any shows lately?
No.
Did you ever play out live?
No.
No.
I think it'd be terrifying.
It's sometimes.
So to speak, But, if you run through everything, of course, the whole practice still and, getting the whole thing down with whomever or whatever,
I think that it does help cut some of the nerves sometimes, but not in the end. I mean, a lot of guys forget a lot of things.
Yeah.
No matter how much you practice.
Yeah. Have you ever had that happen?
Oh, yeah. You mess up all the time. I did.
Well, you want to be human.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes those are the good parts.
Yeah.
Especially if you're feeling it and everybody's jamming together. I mean, as long as you don't stop and say, oh, man, I fucked up and start over. You're usually all right.
But was it Bob Ross, though? It's a happy accident.
Yes.
I heard that a lot in school.
Yeah.
Our teacher, she used to record his little PBS specials and stuff. She'd bring him in. It's like, all right, you got to do that. I'm like, okay, we try our darndest,
Yeah.
But, we failed miserably, compared to Bob,
Bob was the man.
Yes, he was. So calm.
Yeah.
So calm, but, what can you do?
Speaking of art teachers, my art teacher, Mike Thompson, I won't ever forget it. He had hand-drawn Eddie in the class.
Oh, did he?
Full poster size, man. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It's crazy good.
It's funny because graduated with his brother. Jimmy.
Jimmy?
You know Jimmy, don't you?
Yeah, a little bit. I've heard stories.
Jimmy's he's a free-spirited type guy.
Yeah.
Of course, his dad and my dad, they were pretty good friends. Well, they went to school to play football together and stuff, down at Peace Island and stuff like that. And, it was crazy.
Dave's the one who taught me how to trap.
Oh, did he?
Yep. I spent a lot of time with Dave.
Yeah, that Dave, he's a pretty nice guy.
Yeah.
He's a good dude. But yeah, they learned from the best, Stacy.
Yeah. Well, he was a character, wasn't he?
It was funny. When I was pitching horseshoes and stuff, pitching in the league.
You used to pitch?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, this was in school.
Really?
Yeah, when I was pitching, I pitched a lot. I actually won in my class, state champion.
Really?
2 years in a row.
That's pretty awesome, man.
Way back when, won the Ross County Fairgrounds a few times.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah. You used to pitch out there all the time.
That's something I'd always do during the fair. I'd go watch Stacy pitch.
Yeah.
He was always a good one.
It was funny, he come walking up and he goes, I got to play you, Dave. He how his alarm.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He walk in. He goes, don't beat me too bad. Mind you, I have to play him 3 games,
Yeah.
He got me the first game. He goes, no, Dave, you have to take it easy on me. I can't hardly see down there. And I said, you look like you were seeing pretty good that first game,
Yeah.
Stacy. Yeah, I got him. But he was always fun to be around.
Yeah, I miss him.
He's a funny dude. It's funny. He busted my ass in what, junior high. I forget what. Dumb kids doing dumb stuff. You know. He goes, "It's gonna hurt me worse. It's gonna hurt you." Of course, all the teachers said that, you know, when they're about ready to drill you.
Yeah.
But I very seriously doubt that. But yeah, he was telling me all kinds of stories about dad and stuff when he's lifting and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Great storytelling.
Oh,
probably the best.
Dude, he could take a story that long and make it that long. It's like your classic fish tales.
Make you sit there and just listen the whole time.
Like, is that right? Is that right? But yeah, it's like the music we were listening to way back when. That could mean your dad.
Yeah.
Was in high school and stuff. He actually, because I think he went to the Piece of Iron Maiden, Piece of Mind tour. I believe he did.
My dad?
Yeah, back
yeah.
83. Yeah, way back.
Yeah.
That's been a long time
I
ago.
thought you were talking about Stace. I was like, he did?
Oh, no. No, your dad.
Dad did.
But yeah, he said, "Man, you got to go see Maiden, man." I said, "Well, I will. Eventually, I'll go see him." I've seen him 4 times now. Yeah, so first time I seen him back in 1987 on a Somewhere in Time tour.
Okay.
Which was basically a beginning of the progressive type music they were starting to put out, more synth oriented type stuff. But yeah, it's pretty good. I remember one day after track practice, he was, "Here, Dave, take this shirt and wear it." It was an Iron Maiden and had it was like the Canadian tour shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still got it?
Who, him?
No, the shirt.
Who, your dad?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah.
You may have to ask him if he still has that shirt.
I'll have to. Probably not. I probably would have had it by now.
Yeah. That's funny. Or Phoebe got rid of it.
Probably.
It was fun.
She's been known to do that.
It was funny. I asked her, sent her a message and stuff. I said, "Hey, has Joe still got those cassettes he had?" I know. She goes, "Oh, I got rid of them." It's like, oh boy.
Yeah, she either goodwilled them or just left them down at the lane for somebody to pick up. I said, "What the fuck?"
She ain't gonna have shit later. She got holding sitting there forever.
What the hell? I would have taken. I listened to a lot of them back in the day.
Yeah.
For me, my back in the day.
Yeah.
Pulled out all the old tapes.
What was your back in the day?
Like 2000.
Oh boy.
I was born in 91.
Yeah.
So then.
Yeah, you're just
late 90s.
Yeah, you're a couple of years older than my daughter.
Yeah.
Audrey.
Yeah.
You remember her from school?
Yep.
Yeah. Old Blondie. Yeah. Way back when.
I'm trying to think of if he had. What album did he have on Power Slave, maybe?
Good one.
I think that's what it was.
Got that face on it?
Yeah, with the pyramid?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Power Slave.
Good record.
Yeah, it is.
So he actually probably hid that one from your mom.
I know, it's gone. I looked. Tried to fight. There was nothing left.
She just chucked them all in.
They were gone.
Yeah, probably tripped over.
You got any tapes?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got cassettes over there.
Right on.
I'll tell you what, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I'll go grab a couple.
There we go.
Yeah, I got one that's, I'll show you. Thing from '84. It's old brand new, bud. No. Oh, I'm getting old, man. Yeah, there it is. There we go. Just a couple I'll bring over. No, why I didn't. Poppy's out. Here we go. Yeah, his first one is actually a this at Jesse's.
Okay.
You know, Apollo Records.
Yep.
I had this on the back end as well. Celtic Frost Emperor's Return. Got like 4 songs on it.
I haven't heard it.
Well, we'll have to after this is over, I'll juice you up on it.
All right.
Because I got the vinyl version of it now.
Gotcha.
Where they reissued the stuff. Yeah, here's the cassette I was telling you about. I believe it is. It's from 85. Called The Wild Bunch. Bought that off a Hit Parader magazine. You know, it's like a little music magazine. Yeah, they had it, and it's like something like $5 or whatever it costs. Sent him with $5 in an envelope. A few months later, however long it was, they sent that. Dude, let me tell you, it's got everything on it. Of course, the first song is a group called Q5.
Oh no.
You will. And of course, Raven, Agent Steel, Casablanca, Anthrax.
No, that one.
Yeah. Laz Rocket. Yeah. See what I mean? It's got a little bit of everything. Slayer was on here. Possessed. You know, Megadeth, Lee Aaron. She was some chick, you know, singing heavy metal. You know, back in the early 80s and stuff like that. But yeah. But I mean, the cassette nowadays, I mean, it sounds just as fresh as it did back then when I got it. Yeah. And it is loud. And that cassette was left in vehicles, you know, hot vehicles.
Yeah.
And it's not warped or nothing like that. I don't know what they made it out of.
Good say.
It must be, dude, because I'm telling you what, it absolutely slams it. Yeah, here's some Iron Maiden cassettes. That's the first one. I think that's from Fame Records or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's in good shape.
Yep. Still sounds just as good as it did. I don't know about back in, but that's
Japan.
Yes, that's their very first live record that they ever done. Well, I shouldn't say ever, you know, one of the first ones they ever done, but it's I think it's like a 5-song. Yeah, 5-song, basically mini LP. You know, of course, as the years gone on, you know, actually I had the full concert of them made in Japan. Yeah.
This got thrown away. Piece of items in there.
It's funny because back in '83 during Christmas, Mom said, "Well, you kids are old." She goes, "Only thing you guys down, you guys pick out what you want, you know." Of course, you know, they got me a boom box. I don't know if your dad remembers this, but during track meets and stuff, I would fill it up, you know, new batteries and stuff, you know, have stuff like this here.
Yeah.
You know, just blaring. But yeah.
I have heard stories about the big box.
Oh, you have?
Yes. Said you always had it. Is that true?
Yeah. Well, since '83.
You still got it?
Oh no, I wish I did. I mean, I got one over there, but it's like an ion.
Yeah.
And they had those at what was it, Sam's Club or something like that.
Really?
Yeah. Every once in a while you go to Sam's Club, boy, they got some decent stuff in there. Which one's that one? Number of the Beast?
Yep.
Yeah. That's not a bad record.
That's pretty good. This one ain't bad either.
That's the maxi single.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, because it's got Cross-Eyed Mary, I think, is the B side.
Yep.
You ever heard that one?
I don't know.
The Jethro Tull version? Well, that one. Jethro Tull really did it.
Probably not. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it don't sound too bad. Especially at high volume.
I don't even know if I've seen a single cadet set. Okay.
Oh, no kid. Yeah, that's what they pretty obvious, that's what they used to do and stuff like that. But it's pretty neat. Or even, like say the Celtic Cross, they'd have like 4-song EPs and stuff. 5 songs, yeah. Pretty good stuff. If you're into that. But yeah, I mean, we were all, it was funny. I think I've told this story before. I think it was my freshman year or something like that. Mom was off work and said, "Hey, can you pick up that cassette? Here's Street Beat for me and stuff." There's a group called Icon. It's from like 84. What was their first record? I was sitting out there waiting, and heard Ted Nugent just blasting, over the way there at Paint Valley and stuff. It's Tom McGrew. I don't know if you know who he is. Yeah, he had like a '76 Chevy Laguna. It was like silver. I don't know what the year. Yeah, I don't know what the year was or the car, but it was Wango Tango. Just full blast, just more like it was 8-track.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how it was back in. Because Paint Valley, now that they got everything everywhere. Because back in, you had a road went all the way around the backside of the school and stuff, and you open up a garage door, and that was the gym. And it was just machines.
Yeah.
They had that open. He had his trunk open, doors open, stuff just blaring. It was a good time. It was just a little bit different. I don't know how kids do it nowadays.
Me either.
It was like, oh, hold on, let me stream it. As you can tell, I get the whole streaming deal.
Yeah.
It's not like
it's not you.
It's nothing like putting a record on and actually hearing how it should sound.
Yeah.
You listen to streaming, all that stuff. It's compressed so bad, and just like CDs.
Yeah.
Music is so compressed. You have almost basically like a 2-album set to put on one CD. Like, man, you're cramming all that in there, but it does sound good, but it just doesn't have that good to me. I don't think it does.
Yeah.
I don't know if you listen to a lot of vinyl records.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
That's good, man.
I mean, you get it.
I get it.
But yeah, one thing I like to do, I like to put out records here. These records are here from the 80s. I actually grabbed a couple out today. As I was thinking I was coming home, I was like, I want to grab it.
We're going to listen to them?
We can do whatever, bud.
Oh, whatever you want.
But yeah, I like to kick it out there.
Let's see it.
Slayer, Rain and Blood.
That's a good one.
Yeah, this is the one that basically it broke them big time. A little bit of evil going on.
A little evil.
Yeah, a little bit of evil never hurt nobody. But yeah, the song Angel of Death, that was the one that really boosted them. It's funny because the last few times I've seen Slayer twice. They always opened up with Rain and Blood.
Really?
Yeah. Because they have it sounds like it's raining, like it is. Then the drummer here, dum, dum, dum. We get in that whole deal. It's funny because when we went, last time I seen them, it was on a World Pain and Blood tour. The wife was with me. She wanted to see Anthrax. I was like, oh, and Megadeth was there as well. I was like, when you guys started playing, they were a lot louder. Oh, it may not be as loud. It's a little bit louder, they turned the volume up to 11 on this one, we were in the back, and our shirts were jumping from that double bass. Ooh, that is loud. Yeah, it is. Of course, I like that,
Yeah.
Louder the better. And here you go. One we were talking about.
It's a good album.
It's not a bad record, is it?
No. Probably one of the first metal albums I ever listened to.
Probably.
Yeah. On the tapes. I was probably, I don't know, younger than 10 listening to them.
Good.
Yeah,
That's good.
definitely.
Now, like when you started playing and stuff, what was a lot of your influence?
Kind of hard to say, man. I listened to a lot of at the time. I was listening to like a lot of like Bob Dylan and
Yeah.
Ryan Adams and a bunch of like alt country stuff and
Yeah. Well,
weird stuff for a 14-year-old and 13-year-old to listen to. Probably.
Well, I mean, a lot of Bob Dylan stuff is just your standard chords.
Yeah, but I was also listening to a lot of rock and roll and a lot of metal. And
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to play fast, but I couldn't. So, and I don't know. I feel like a lot of the blues guys influenced me more than anything.
Yeah.
Like Albert King,
Good.
Stevie. I can never play any Stevie stuff. But
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah, I always thought it was badass. You know?
Now, did you ever listen to like a lot of Gary Moore?
Mm-mm.
AP? Because he played the blues though, but it was a heavy blues.
Yeah.
You know, nothing like what
Buddy Guy gets pretty heavy. You ever listen to Buddy Guy?
No.
He gets some pretty heavy stuff going on.
Gets a kicking.
Oh, yeah.
I don't. Because Gary Moore, I mean, he's a phenomenal guitar player for dead and gone, but it was his tone.
Yeah.
He just had that Marshall cranked all the way up, and he just plugged right into it, and it sounded so good.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe people probably think, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Yeah, you're right. I probably don't, but to me, aesthetically, when you listen to it, it just sounded so crisp.
Yeah.
That's
half the battle, man. All the guitar players that people love, they have great talent.
Yeah.
And that's their own.
Yeah. I mean,
I think a lot of it comes from their fingers and stuff too,
mm-hmm.
and the way they play.
Not sure why a lot of people, they play Eddie Van Halen, play Eruption all the time and stuff. Like
it's close.
It's close, but it's not his fingers. Yeah. And that's what it's all about. It's all about the fingers.
Eddie Van Halen was definitely a big influence to me, but I could never play that. I wanted to.
Yeah,
I think everybody would.
It's funny because they used to have like toward the end of the school year and stuff, they would have like bands. Well, inside the school, and Brent Beaver was a part of that. Ellen Smalley and all that. And I think your cousin Aaron Martin. Yeah. Yeah, actually, I think he got up and sang, what was it, Addicted to Love.
Did he, on the talent show?
Yeah, it was like toward the end of the year and stuff. We'd all be in the gym and stuff like that. And they set up there on the stage. But yeah.
Was that whenever the one dude played Eruption?
Yeah, Brent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dad said that he's in a band now.
Oh, Brent?
Yeah. I guess they're like playing in Chillicothe.
Yeah, Shady Ray. That's the name of him.
Have you seen him?
No, I have not seen him.
We should go see him sometime.
I would love to go see him. It's weird because my schedule, my schedule.
Yeah.
Stupid. But hey, it pays the bills. Here's one you probably never heard of. A group called Kick Axe.
Nope, I haven't heard of them. Nice.
Yep. But yeah, it's Heavy Metal Shuffle was the one that was always played on the radio here. I think they're a Canadian band.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken. Either that or, Washington State or, around that area. Yeah, it's a corny, even the video even has a dude on there, it's corny as hell. As you can see.
Yeah.
It is pretty corny. But,
pretty good album.
It's not bad. It's just straight up rock and roll.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if you'd call it heavy metal. Like a here you go. Crocus.
Don't know that one, man.
Never heard that one.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's real good. But yeah, it seemed like everybody at school had this on cassette. But I think it came out. Yeah, 1983 is when that came out. Well, it was the Stay Awake All Night and Screaming in the Night. That was a popular one. You may have.
I might have heard it.
Yeah. Like I say, it's a really good record. You'll get a chance, That's a good one. Here you go. A little bit of Man of War. Fighting War.
That album.
That's pretty intimidating.
That's pretty good art.
Yeah, it's pretty intimidating, isn't
Yeah, you need that on like the side of a van or something.
it? Yeah, you. But yeah, the big song on this here was "Blow Your Speakers" with rock and roll. Yeah.
Maybe if I heard it.
Oh, you will. Then add
The album art's badass.
yeah. Not bad, is it? The pop and electric type stuff. But yeah, that's not bad. But yeah, I'll play some tunage for you.
Definitely.
Because can't play it on here because if you do,
You're screwed.
well, you can't post that. No, I'm like, here we go. This is a group called the Pretty Maids.
I don't know this one either. It's wild.
But yeah, this here, like I say, all these records are 80s influenced and everything. The big one off of this one here was called Future World. Because they have video on it back in MTV actually used to play, videos. That was pretty much a thing of the past. But yeah, my buddy, he recorded it. Dave, you gotta watch this. Like, all right. It's got this CUDA in it, peeling off, going down the highway with that song playing.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's all about them. Now, Jimmy Thompson and I used to talk about when this came out.
It's immense.
Yeah. Oh, you pretty familiar with it?
Not extremely, but
yeah. Just the song Perfect Strangers. Because Jimmy used to say, what the hell does that even mean? I don't know if it's got the lyrics. I think it's got the lyrics. Yeah, it's got lyrics. What was it? Well, this is odd. Like an uncomfortable silence. What was it? It's a strand of silver hanging from the sky, touching more than you can see. Just some little bit. Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah. But yeah, it's a pretty kick-ass record. Yeah, it's a U.S. But yeah, on that record, I mean, it was basically their comeback record.
Yeah.
Because they'd all, it was after Richie Blackmore. He had Rainbow during the 70s and the early 80s and stuff like that. And they said, well, hey, you want to get back together? One thing left another, and they got back together and made that record.
Yeah, I got to see them. They played the Ryman Auditorium.
You seen Deep Purple?
Yep. It was probably 2014-ish, somewhere around in there.
Is that when Steve Morse was their guitar player?
I don't remember. My buddy, my roommate at the time was playing bass in the band that was opening up for him, so I roadie for him or whatever, helping pack all their shit in. So I got a free Deep Purple show, you know what I mean? That's why I was going. It was pretty cool. It was catered and everything for the bands, so we got to get back there and eat and all that shit. They weren't hanging out or nothing. Deep Purple wasn't, but everybody else was.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just a filler.
They just came in and like said hi to the dude that was opening up for them and stuff, and went off.
That's pretty neat, though.
Yeah, it was cool.
It's that little brief interaction.
Yeah.
Here's one. The Police. Synchronicity.
There we go.
This one got like King of Pain on it.
All right.
It's a pretty popular song. And Every Breath You Take. The ultimate stalking song.
Yeah.
But yeah, my sister, she bought this for me for Christmas. Way back in 83. Yeah. Which I was pleasantly surprised, I was like, because the year before or whatever, I think she got that that record as well. One before this. Like, oh, okay, it's pretty good. Then she got this one for Christmas.
Okay. Trying to think if I've ever got. Yeah, I think I've only gotten one album for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
My brother got me the Tenacious D album.
You like Tenacious D?
Oh yeah, it was right whenever it came out. And my parents didn't know what it was, so that snuck through. I was probably I don't know what year that would have came out.
Oh my God!
I was probably 12 or something.
Oh, that's perfect age.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. They kick ass, man.
Especially, the lyrical content.
Oh,
It's a little out there left field, but but you have to take it with a grain of salt with what it is.
It's pretty good music though.
Yeah,
they rock and roll.
that Kyle's pretty good.
Oh yeah,
he can hammer down on that
he
too.
plays really clean.
Mm-hmm.
I deleted all my. Well, I didn't delete it. I deleted all my apps, but I got him on Instagram. He's a really clean player.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, he's not bad, but I don't know that I reckon it's that whole Jack Black thing. That's
Yeah.
You sit and shake your head. It's like, God, come on. I get it, but he's got a hell of a voice.
Yeah, he does.
Jack does.
Yeah.
But there you go.
I mean,
The Trick or Treat soundtrack.
it's all nuts, man.
What? You don't know?
Right.
Damn, your dad's got it. But this here, when the movie, it's the soundtrack to the movie Trick or Treat. Fastway did the music to it. It was the cassette was so hard to get. It seemed like every time they would come in to the record store, it would sell out. Boom, just like right now. So a couple times of that, I was like, well, I told him, I want the cassette of this. Yeah, they just recently reissued this on vinyl, like on orange or whatever, fiery orange. Yeah, it's pretty popular. You never seen the movie?
I don't think so.
It's slapsticky.
Yeah,
very slapsticky, but it's pretty neat. A little bit of evil pumped in there. I think you'd probably get a kick out of it. The soundtrack's pretty cool though.
Pretty good.
Huey Lewis in the News.
There you go.
You like Huey Lewis?
I know this. I know a few songs, but never dove deep.
Yeah, this is about as deep as you really want to get because this is the one that was really huge for him. But yeah, it's got that One New Drug. See what else? Hard Rock and Roll, Heart and Soul, Bad is Bad, One New Drug, Walking on a Thin Line. If this is it. It's lettered with good songs. But yeah. It's a good one to kick out.
Yeah.
Okay. A little bit of Sammy Hagar.
Can't beat it.
You like Sammy?
Yeah, it's a little bit. I'm more of a Van Halen guy.
This series is like greatest hits from his solo career, so to speak. It's got some pretty good ones on there. You got the song called Red, I've Done Everything for You, which Rick Springfield redid that song. That became a huge hit for Rick Springfield.
Okay.
But not for Sammy Hagar. But he still benefited, because he wrote the damn thing.
Probably because he's trying to play guitar with a boxing glove on.
Yeah, that's probably hard to do. Quite possible, I don't know. But yeah, pretty good. And this record here is seemed like everybody had to have this on cassette. I don't know if you're familiar with the band called Helix.
I feel like I've heard the name, but I'm not familiar with it.
But yeah, the big song off of this one here was called Rock You.
All right. I don't think I know.
Yeah.
Maybe if I heard it.
Yeah, I'll give you a run through on it. That way, you get an idea. But yeah, this here's a gold stamp promo. Which, they would send these here to like radio stations. They'd stamp them. Or good, this here goes there, or whatever the case. Or they'd have a big stack of them. They just give them to radio stations.
Gotcha.
So yeah. But yeah, they're a Canadian band as well. Yeah, it seemed like everybody at school had this on cassette. Hard to play vinyl records in the car. rolling down the road about 110 mile an hour. That's fun. What was it that car your dad had? That green one. I think it was a Cutlass.
Mm-hmm.
Remember he crashed it in the parking lot. Did he tell you about that?
I know he wrecked it.
Yeah, he right there in the parking lot. That'd been a few years ago.
Yeah.
Well,
I think I've just seen a picture of him. It's pretty short.
yeah, it ran pretty good. Stereo was loud as shit too. It's pretty loud. But of course, like everybody back in, everything was cranked to 10. Cool.
Good then.
Yeah. It was hard for, stereos to go to 11. But anyways, I know when I got my license, I had a 1980 AMX. A 258 straight 6, stuff like that. Cassette deck. And I was like, well, instead of buying cassettes this week, I'm going to go ahead and get me an equalizer booster, for it. $50 for it. That Sun TV and stuff they used to have there in Chillicothe. So I got it, plugged it in and stuff like that. It's like, oh my God. And then just the volume just went from this to all the way up here. It seemed like it put about 50 more watts.
Yeah.
It might not have been that, don't know. It might have been 25 watt extra, but it was loud.
Yeah.
I mean, you get out of the car, damn ears are ringing. That's
Wow.
Yeah, it was a pretty good time,
Yeah.
But yeah, I appreciate you coming out
Oh, no problem.
on this this old rainy day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's no problem.
Yeah, a little soupy out there, ground's pretty well saturated and everything else. But yeah, thank you.
Thank you, man.
Much appreciated. But yeah, on that note, here's what I like to do, just a little inspirational type thing, just people be nice to people.
Yeah, they should.
Well, yeah, they should.
They should.
It would be nice if everybody would just get along. But some people can't. But see you later.
See ya.